looking for the facts, well, you done came to the right place. You've now checked in with blog partner, 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 blog partner.
Here it is. It's your boy Blog Partner. Back up in this thing one more again. And y'all know I keep this thing growing legs and I keep bringing some positive into the community. I got somebody today who's big in the community, a positive role model, somebody who wears a lot of hats, and most importantly, a father. Bro, let them know who I got in the building.
Man, let me just first say, man, thank you for having me.
Okay.
Salute to you and all that you do, your work, this podcast, man, and like you said, you keep it growing legs and doing something positive in the community. So, man, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. But to answer your first question, man, my name is Chris Poynter.
Okay.
I am, as you said, I am a husband. I am a father. I'm a son of God, and interested enough, man, right in this area where I grew up, man, and cut my teeth. So no, man, I appreciate you having me, and I'm fortunate enough to be the district athletic director for Murray County Public Schools and supervisor of nursing, and also own my own business and cleaning company. And so, yeah, man, just happy to be here.
For sure. Well, check us out, bro. Where you let them know where you from, bro.
Where I'm from, man, I can say I was born over in Fairview Park was where I was born.
Okay.
Lived there for several years, and then I moved over here to Chapman Lane. So a couple of streets over, 308 Chapman Lane. That's where I'm from, man. Columbia, Tennessee. Born and raised. Only left for a brief stint to go to college. But man, this area that we're in right now, man, is where I born and raised, rode my bike, played ball.
Over through here?
Over through here, man.
Okay,
so Chapman Lane is just right over there,
right,
308. Right. Man, the basketball goal is still up, man. I think they cut the tree house that my grandfather bit down. But man, this is the area I grew up, man. Running up and down these streets, man, every day until I went to college.
For sure. How did it rub off on you being from Columbia? You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know, one of the reasons why I came back, because I had the opportunity to work in many different fields in many different places.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I came back is because the only way that I could repay people who had done so much for me, like I'm literally standing on the shoulders of giants. And so to repay them was to come back and reciprocate that which they done to me. Sure. So get engaged in the community, reach out that hand, working with young people, which I've committed my life to. And that's really why I came back home. And this is home, Columbia, Tennessee.
Okay. Check us out, bro. Let these people know who you looked up to growing up.
Ooh, man, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. So I will say that, you know, my father was a huge influence in my life. My grandfather was a huge influence. I always say my grandfather was my backbone.
Okay.
That was really, you know, my grandfather was really my compass, kind of my focal point, my North Star. Because I just really watched how he moved, how he was involved in the community, how he ran his business, how he treated people.
For sure.
The way he operated, the things that he done, how he supported and helped people out his entire life. I just really wanted to emulate that growing up as a young man. And I would say that there are so many other mentors, all my coaches that I played for, all those people that I looked up to, man, and my mom. I can't forget, you know, the weight and the load that my mom carried for so many years and looking up to her. But man, growing up, my father, my grandfather, my mother, you know, and other men that were in my lives, uncles and things of that nature.
Shouts out to all of them. So I was going to ask you where your dedication and determination come from, but I guess it's coming from your grandfather, your father, and all that.
Yeah, partially, but I think that's just something that always been ingrained in me.
Okay.
This level of commitment, this level to give back, this commitment to see Murray County be great, make it be a community that everybody thrives and loves to be a part of, and being an individual who just is committed to the work of the community and committed to the work of young people. And I'm just really that type of persistent individual. And I, you know, playing sports and being committed to that is a lot, in part, where I get a lot of that dedication, that desire to excel in those areas. And, you know, I just try to do that for our community as well.
For sure. Well, let these people know, what do you do to avoid distractions?
Oh man, stay focused.
Stay focused. Stay focused.
Stay locked in on what you desire to go do. Because if you set your mind to it, and you desire to go do it, then if we don't stay focused, then we're not going to achieve those goals. I'm a firm believer that God puts, things on your heart. He puts things in your mind to achieve, and He gives you those desires. But He gives you free will to go be able to do those things. So you can veer off the path, you can go in the wrong direction. But for me, it's really staying focused and honing in what's been put on my heart and being persistent, go achieve that. Stay locked in.
For sure, for sure. Well, I got a little surprise for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? See if you catch on to this right here. When I was young, when I was getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never told you this before. I'm gonna wait to get you in here to tell you.
Okay.
I was young, when I was getting in trouble. They gave me community service work. And they sent me to somebody, you know what I'm saying? And that person took me to Lucas Chevrolet, took me somewhere else, had me trying to run a buffer. I didn't know how to run a buffer. I'm slinging the buffers, banging against the walls. He saved me, cut it off. He taught me how to do the buffer. Took me to his house, showed me his pictures. Now, this community service work, I'm supposed to be working for free doing community service work. This man took me to his house, showed me pictures, showed me all the years he coached. When it was done, he took me to a farm. He called the cows. The cows came running. But I was so nervous, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he took me home and gave me some money. Wasn't even supposed to. If I ever take my head off to Mr. Reverence Harris. Yeah. That's your granddaddy that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And I ain't never told you this, bro, but he touched my heart, you know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to him. And I kind of feel bad because he told me not to get in no more trouble. You know what I'm saying? And after that, I started getting in trouble. So every time I would see him, I would dodge him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to let you know that I take my hat off to your granddad, and I knew that that's who one of the persons that you were going to say. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that's where your dedication, part of it came from, because I met him, and that's a good person, bro. You a good person too. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to say that. But if you want to say anything else about your granddad, you already said something about him. But if you want to say something else about him, say something else about it.
You know what's so powerful is, that's one of 1,000 stories that people can tell. And man, I really appreciate you sharing that with me.
Yeah.
My grandfather, it was a thankless job for him. He would say, Lord, if you just provide for me enough to take care of my family, all the excess and everything else I get, I'll give away.
For sure.
And I've really, really been a firm believer in that. And I see what he done for people, how he was committed to folks, and just what he done for you and how he touched your life.
Yeah.
You may have veered off a little bit, but you ain't never forget.
Nah,
and
never forget.
That's the key point. And you still remember that to this day.
I had so much respect for him. When I was jumping back, getting in trouble, I used to dodge him. I used to see him because he lived right there on Glade.
Right there on
Glade.
When
I see him, I go the other way. You know, so I respected him so much. But I was getting in trouble and all that. But like I said, he did more than the community service for me. You know what I'm saying? He took me to a farm, took me to his house. He wasn't supposed to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't working at his house. I wasn't working at his farm. He just took me and showed me like family.
And that just shows, my grandfather had a great gift of discernment.
Yeah.
So you may not have been where you were supposed to be at now.
Right.
But he knew that you was going to be where you needed to be later. Okay. And the fact that he got to be involved with your life, man, that's special, man. I thank you for sharing that with me, man. Yeah. That's meaningful for me. That's something I'll take with me forever, man. Thank you for that.
Okay. So let's move on to Maury County sports. Like, our daughters play on the same team, you know what I'm saying? But I always see you other places, like you all around. And then I see they're building up the fields, the turf, and all this. And I'm hearing that you got a major part in that. You want to explain that?
Yeah. So, man, God is good, man. He, with me moving into the role as district athletic director.
So that's what you, okay.
So once I got there, and 2 or 3 years in, I started aligning our district strategically and trying to figure out what the needs were, what things were being unmet, what did the coaches need, what did the schools need, how can we separate ourselves in Maury County from other school districts, how can we separate ourselves from other counties in general, and what can we do to really really give people a desire to want to be a part of Maury County. And part of that came truly as a result of just strategic alignment, bringing everybody together, and really getting school board in line.
Okay.
I got great people that I report to downtown, and they believed in the vision. They believed in what we were trying to do. And it started out as, 500,000 here, a little seed to start doing some, and then it turned into like 2 million, then it was 2.5 million, then it grew to 28 million.
Yeah.
And so we had $28 million on this last wave of funding to really transform our entire school district. And part of what you just mentioned was turf fields. And so we were able to do that at Battle Creek, Central, Spring Hill, and Mount Pleasant, and we're doing work in our unit schools.
Yeah.
But man, it's a collective group of people really buying in and believing in the vision to see that stuff get done.
And combined efforts.
Yeah,
I got you. You got it looking good, bro. And I know if some alumni, Central, whoever come back and they see it, they're going to be surprised. They're going to love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got it looking good. But check this out, bro. Something else I know about you. Baseball. They say you had a baseball run. You want to explain your baseball run? You had a baseball run. Oh, man.
Before. Yeah, that was many moons ago. So, yeah, man, growing up my entire life, I used to love the game, man. And I talked about my father. My father's the one that really introduced me to the game. He played ball, played some independent ball and some stuff through Columbia, through FAMU, under Willie Morgan, and all those types of things.
Shouts out to Willie Morgan. Shouts out to your father again too.
Yeah, and my dad, Norris Poynter, he, when I would be waiting on the porch for him to get off work with my glove and bat and be like, "Hey, Dad, can you throw?" And he'd been slaving at Nissan, he'd been slaving at G or where he was working at the time. Yeah. And he would still find time to just go play catch with me outside. And that meant a lot.
Yes, what's up?
And that really is what developed that love for me for the game. And so I just was on a fast track, got to high school, was fortunate to make the team, played as a sophomore varsity, played as a junior and senior. And that ultimately led me to go play at Austin Peay State University and play some Division I baseball there. Won 3 conference championships, had all conference awards, freshman All-American awards, player of the week awards, and was able to finish my career in college hitting, 333 for college, and which is nothing to snuff your nose at, but I was able to have a great career and and try to do right by what my father gave me and really put my talents out there on the field and just really give the game everything I had.
For sure. I take my hat off to you, bro, because they told me about you. You know what I'm saying? I did my homework. They told me about you. So I had to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had to bring it to the light.
Good deal, man.
Okay, check this out. Me and you had a conversation, was it last week, a couple of weeks ago? I just wanted to bring this to the podcast because it touched me deep, you know what I'm saying? We was talking about kids not respecting coaches. Why is it important for a kid to respect a coach? And what is that? You said something about the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Explain to them what you told me about the kitchen table, and kids need to start respecting coaches if they deserve respect.
So part of the challenge that we're dealing with in today's kind of sports world is that coaches overwhelmingly have lost the kitchen table, and that's for various reasons. And what I mean by the kitchen table is when kids are sitting down at their home, riding in the car, wherever they're going, the respect from the adults and the kids towards the coaches have completely flipped upside down on its head. And there's been a true lack of respect for coaches, who coaches are, what they do every day, the time commitment that they're giving each and every single solitary day. And unfortunately, we're finding incidences and we're finding moments where just people underappreciate that to the level that it's empowering kids from the house to the court, from the house to the field, tennis courts, wherever it may be, that they feel emboldened to just be disrespectful. Yes. They feel emboldened not to work hard, or people think that they know more than this or more than that. But sports is a reflection of what you're going to find and see and do in life.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that you're going to have to do in life. There's a lot of places you're going to have to go that you ain't going to necessarily like doing.
Right.
Now, you got the option to leave, but you ain't never going to have the option as you become an adult to be disrespectful, because that's always going to have consequences.
For sure.
And so if you don't learn at a young age that level of respect for those who are in authority, then it's going to come back to bite you later when you're an adult and you think you can still do those same things and play by those same rules. And those consequences are going to be far more steeper and far worse as an adult than it is when you're being as a young kid. And so I always think that sports, I always truly believe a lot of who I am and what I do is because of the challenges that I faced on the baseball field. Did I always like or get along with my coaches? Absolutely not. Did I like or always get along with my father? No.
Right.
But it's what I took from that. It was being respectful. It was listening. It was taking in what they were trying to teach me. Whether I liked the moment or not, whether they said, hey, you got to sit the bench today, you ain't producing, I may not have liked it, but I got a choice. How I'm going to get myself out that bench or how I'm going to get these things to happen. So, yeah, and all in all, man, we really got to get back to winning that kitchen table. What we pour into our kids and how they have to operate leaving the kitchen table and going to the ball field and the court.
Sure.
Man, we just really got to – that makes a huge difference in the impact that people can have.
I took that with me when you said that. That was deep. Okay, I'm gonna say this right here. Shouts out to Shaq Mason, Leisha. Shouts out to both of them.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll see another Shaq Mason?
Ooh. Oh man.
Out of Columbia, because he did. You know what I'm saying? He made it to the next level and did good in the next level. We got a lot of people that make it almost. You know what I'm saying? And then don't never make it to the level that he made it to. When do you think you'll see somebody else?
Man, I always believe that the next is always walking around. Like I'm that optimistic. So, you know, a lot of people will say, there'll never be another one, or it'll be years from now before we see another one. But I think you got to plant those seeds and you got to try to grow it and you got to try to groom it and you got to try to get it to the place that it needs to be. And I don't know if we're going to see the next Shaq Mason tomorrow. We're going to see it in 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
But I know we will see another one. It's hard to put my finger on it. I'm optimistic, glass half full. I do believe that the work that we're doing in our county, what coaches are doing, and what parents are doing with some of their young people, I think that we will see that happen at some point. I don't know when. Hopefully sooner than later.
And Shaq, shouts out to Shaq again. He makes himself accessible so they can see him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I know he motivating them. You know what I'm saying? I know he motivating them. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
And I will say, when we talk about that kitchen table, we really got to talk. We really got to talk about Miss Alicia. I'm fortunate enough to serve on the foundation for Shaq and work alongside Miss Alicia and several other great others. But when you listen what Miss Alicia talked about, how she prepared both of her sons for life, and how she used tough love, and how she needed them to be around strong coaching and strong men. She talks about that, and she talks about it with such passion. And I'm a firm believer in those steps that she took, having that awareness that her children needed that, help get Shaq to the next level and prepare our youngest son D to do the great things that he's doing in life.
Take my hat off to you again.
Yeah, Miss Alicia, hats off to you. Doing great stuff.
Yeah, that's real. That's deep right there, bro. So I appreciate you coming through here. You know what I'm saying? You're always welcome to come back. You know what I'm saying? But before we get up out of here, I know you got some positive message for the youth. I know you got something to say to the youth. Say something to the youth.
So I got something always positive for the youth, but I will say something to us as a people in general who are listening to the podcast. And it speaks to why I'm so heavily involved in the community, why I'm so committed. And it's a quote. It's an African proverb. And it says, "A child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth."
I never heard that one before.
And so why that is so important to me is when you think about what it's saying, a child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Community is everything.
Gotcha.
Support for our young people coming up is everything. Support for some adults who need help is everything.
For sure.
And as a community, we got to understand that our most valuable resource is not diamonds, it's not gold, it's not oil, and all this stuff you hear on the politics.
Right.
It's our next generation of people.
For sure.
It's our next generation of leaders. It's our next generation of podcasters. It's next generation of athletes. And we have to be diligent. We have to be persistent. We have to be willing and unwavering in our pursuit to see that they have what they need to be successful.
For sure.
And we got to be believers in the +1. My dad, over in this neighborhood right here, Nolan Court, all of this, my dad talked about it this past weekend. My dad was like, he's like, man, I probably raised 35 kids. You know what I'm saying?
Like a village, huh?
The village. But he used to have that pickup truck And I can tell you all the people that grew up and down Chapman Lane, Nolan Court, Nolan Drive, Bel Air, all this community.
Truck full of kids.
Truck full of kids. We were going to practice.
Them was the old days.
Them the old days, man. People was coming over to my house. We were playing basketball. We were playing baseball in the backyard, jumping on the trampoline. Because my father understood and knew that what he was giving back. Some had father figures, some didn't. Some had moms who were readily present, some didn't. My mom would always be in that kitchen. She would cook up be some spaghetti. Some be spending the night. She making pancakes in the morning.
For sure.
And so I'm just a believer in that, man. I'm just committed to that as much as we can, and understand and know that, you know, this is the work that we all have to do.
Okay.
And that's just, you know, I love that quote. That quote sticks with me, man. You can use it anytime.
Oh yeah.
Keep it close to you.
I'm gonna rewind it when we get done.
Rewind and listen to it, man.
I'm listening to that. I got listen. I like that.
Yeah, and then this is one for us as men, but as black men in particular. And we got to remember this as well. What the Father chooses to forget, the Son longs to remember. And what that means is don't forget to tell our story. Don't forget to tell your story. Don't forget to tell where we came from and where we're going. Because oftentimes our kids are desirous of that story, desirous of where we came from. Who are you? When they look at that reflection in the mirror, or they look at you, look at me, they're seeing themselves as a reflection. And so there's this longing to be a part of that, to be associated with that, to be connected with that. And for the kids, I'm gonna just really keep it simple. If you hang around 4 clowns, you're gonna be the 5th one. If you hang around 4 superheroes, you're gonna be the 5th one. And so interpret that however you want.
So,
but just make certain you stay locked in. Just make certain you whatever dreams and goals that you have set, any dreams and goals that you desire, and what you're choosing to do in life, fight for it with every fiber in your being, and find those around you who support and love you, man.
Appreciate you. That's deep. Bro, I appreciate you coming through.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming through. Look in here and let these folks know where they can find you if they need you.
Man, you can find me on all social media platforms. If you want to hit me up, you can come down to central office if you need to holler at me. I'm at every sporting event all the time, man. You'll recognize me. Just come up and holler at me if you need anything. And man, I just appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
For sure.
Keep bringing that great community content.
Keep
this thing growing like legs.
That's my way of giving back, bro. I did a lot of bad when I was young, so this is my way of giving back. Putting something positive into the community, you know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna flip the tables on you. Come on, tables on you. What do you truly want to see happen with this platform? What do you desire to do? What is your mission with this platform?
I don't know, bro. I just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't got just putting something positive into the community. You know what I'm saying? Just reaching out, trying to help out. You know what I'm saying? Just putting something positive into the community.
And everybody has a part to play, man. And I appreciate you doing your part, man, and being committed to that, man, and really just doing positive work for the community and recognizing that and transforming the world, man.
Of course, I want to blow up, you know what I'm saying, be one of the, you know what I'm saying, but it's going to have to start from here. It's going to have to take off, you know what I'm saying, but
keep doing what you're
doing. One man army, blog partner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
For sure. Like I said, man, we done made it to the end. I keep this thing going legs, blog partner, Chris Poynter. We done made it to the end. We out of this thing.
Blog partner, blog partner. Blog partner, blog partner. Blog partner, blog partner. Blog partner, blog partner.